out close positions completely. Just
I'm
because
gonna go.
they want long macro games anyways. They don't want people cheesing all the time. Uh, so anyways, Hyatt does have a drone scout inside of Della's base. He does see that there is a command center and one gas, as well as a barracks at the top of the ramp. I like to see people put their barracks at the second ramp, the top of the second ramp, and get that that fast expansion. Of course, then again, Terran can move his barracks if he wants.
Yeah, fast expanding is usually a good idea on Shakuris. I believe there's actually a Protoss strategy where you can do a one gate expansion
Yeah,
on Shakuris Plateau, and that is like just an unbelievably strong build, especially in Zerg versus Protoss, because if Protoss can get on two bases while Zerg is on two bases, the Protoss will win basically every single time.
yeah. I expand really aggressively because I like to play. I enjoy having games that last longer than 20 minutes. So I
Yeah,
expand really aggressively, and usually people that they either try to cheese you and win right away, which I usually just try to defend by getting out a couple gate units and then expanding, or they try to macro up, and I find that a lot of people's macro, especially on my son's Smurfing account, they lack the macro skills required. Because, like, especially like even Zerg players, you're supposed to be. I played a 20-minute game like yesterday or the day before, and the Zerg guy only expanded twice.
yeah,
Like in
yeah.
20
That's
minutes, you should have 5 bases up and running if you're Zerg. Especially with he
yeah.
had map control, like he had mutas out and speedlings, and he had map control, but he didn't. He actually ended up expanding fewer times than me. So of course I ended up totally crushing them when our two forces actually met.
Now, if we can get a shot of Dela's front door, he actually has left this open the entire match. He's
Yeah.
got Marines there, but if Hyatt had scouted that and decided to go for a Speedling, Baneling all in, he would have won this game. He would probably win it in about 60 seconds if he had decided to do that, but he has not decided to do that. Instead, Dele going for these rather quick Hellions, Hyatt going for this expansion, getting some Speedlings up. Playing pretty conservatively. But like you were saying earlier, you do want to try to expand really aggressively, especially as Zerg. I have made it a point to try to expand, try to get my third before 10 minutes every single game. I usually try to get it before 9 minutes every single game. And once I started doing that, I think I went on like a 9 or 10 game win streak. Just because the amount of money, the amount of extra money that you get, and the amount of extra larvae that you get is just ridiculous. This is so helpful. But yeah, we do see here, Hyatt is going to see those Hellions moving across the map. Tons of Speedlings at the front of his base. Should be able to hold this off just fine.
No blue flame Hellion upgrade, which is kind of shocking. If he's going to go for Hellion play. And probably once he sees these speedlings, he'll probably decide to get that upgrade, or maybe not. I don't know. I don't really know I don't really know what's going to happen in these games because it's silver. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they could totally shock us. There are 2 spine crawlers going up.
I would say that these spine callers are pretty unnecessary. I'd rather see him spend that money on getting more roaches up. Roaches are unbelievably good against Hellions. Hellions basically cannot kill roaches unless you have like 30 Hellions. Yeah, spine crawlers going down. That's 200 minerals. That's a lot of minerals. That's 2/3 the cost of an expansion. If he was to spend that on getting more drones or throwing up another expansion, probably be a bit better off than he is now, I would say. Dele going for that expansion. He's actually expanding before he gets the orbital command on that second command center. Bit of a mistake, I would say. You want to make sure that you get that orbital command right away so that you can start getting extra mules as fast as possible.
Is it a mistake or is it just a tricky play?
Ooh,
I don't know.
devious play there.
Because
by
it's
Dele.
yeah, because I don't know how he plays.
That's true. That's true. Could be doing that on purpose. I would say though, Dele, if you're watching this in the future or right now, if you're watching it right now, get off the stream. But if you're watching it in the future, I would personally recommend getting that orbital command first. Speedlings surrounding Hellions. Speedlings are actually a really good counter to Blue Flame Hellions. Speedlings on creep, that is. are actually unbelievably good against Blue Flame Hellions.
There's a fight going on now with a bunch of speedlings, but they are going to be repelled rather by a bunch of Marines and 2 siege tanks. The siege upgrade is finished researching. He hasn't sieged his tanks though yet up at the top of his ramp.
Yeah.
But he did end up winning that fight.
I don't know if that's just a misstep by him, if that's a bit accidental, or if he is deliberately not sieging them. I can't see a good reason to deliberately not siege them, though.
Especially against speedlings, which is all he's seen so far. Well, and a couple of roaches. But even against roaches, you know, you're going to want to... Well, if you get enough tanks, you can take out roaches with just being unsieged. But you want to get those first couple of shots off and their splash damage before they get to your Marines. No. So he should probably... I mean, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, okay, they're sieged now.
Oh my god. People
in chat slow.
Are telling me that speedlings suck balls versus Blue Flame Hellions. No, they don't.
Not on creep. If they're out on the open field, then yeah, they suck.
Yeah, get your creep spread up. If they're out in the open field, they're going to be horrible. But if you get your creep spread up and get the surround on the Blue Flame Hellions, you'll just destroy everything that they loved. It's awesome. It's so good. But yeah, really quick, I want to point out something. Hayat spent unbelievable amounts of larva on these early speedlings. They really have not been able to do anything for him. They've been essentially a waste of money and a waste of larva. And right now, he is at 31 harvesters versus 41.
Yeah.
This is something that's really, really important. In Zerg versus Protoss and Zerg versus Terran, if you spend your early larva on way too many speedlings, you are going to fall so far behind economically that you just can't come back.
Which we see now. He's down by 40 food, so...
Yeah. Right now is an example of spending way too much on speedlings.
And here comes a huge force of Marines, a couple Marauders, and 3 siege tanks. And I don't think he's going to be able to stop this. Especially with this. He just sieged right outside of the base. There he goes. A scan at the top of the ramp so he can pick off a couple of creep tumors.
Just going to be leapfrogging these siege tanks up. Siege tank getting a bit confused, bit of a bad pathing there.
He's building another command center too, just to the north of his expo.
Bit of a weird place to build that command center, but you know, to each his own, I suppose. Baneling nest going down now for Hayat. Bit of a extremely late Baneling nest. You need that Baneling nest very early against Terran. But we do see here lots of Marines pushing in, killing off those 2 spine crawlers. And Hayat is just having a horrible, really difficult time of trying to manage all these Marines. Going to be losing that Queen, losing a bunch of roaches here. Things are not looking good for Hayat. Marines pushing in, pulling those roaches back, just trying to get them into the range of the siege tanks. And trying to keep those siege tanks being able to get vision up on the high ground. Is Stim down? Stim is down. But I assume that he doesn't want to overuse it just because he does not have medevacs. This hatchery going to be going down in just a second here. And massive reinforcements there for Dele.
Yeah, he's not coming back from this.
No, this is not looking good at all for Hayat. Hayat would have to pull some type of miracle. Honestly, this is not Hayat's game to win anymore. This is Dele's game to lose. There's really nothing that Hayat can do to win this unless Dele does some ridiculous mistake, which has happened before. We do see Marines pushing in here, going to be attacking these roaches head on.
That is a lot of roaches.
Roaches, actually. Wow.
He is only on one base though, so and there's a pretty big set of reinforcements back at his base. He just needs to bring them forward.
Indeed, yeah. But oh, there we go.
Which he's doing now.
Reinforcements coming.
He must have heard me in the chat.
Dele, get off the stream, bro. Okay. But yeah, we do see Expo here. I don't actually like that positioning of the Expo to build it there, but since he has this massive contain, it's really not going to make that much of a difference.
Well, I mean, he just has to float it off and move it.
Yeah, but you know, if you're going to build it there, why build it there? Why not build it in your base and float it over, or just build it over their base?
Maybe he was just in a hurry.
Could be, could be.
He could, you know, Dele could just rally over to the other, to the opponent's base rather than keeping them rallied over by his expansion.
That would probably be a better choice on his part. I agree. Siege tanks going down, lots of banelings and lots of roaches, but these banelings putting them in the front, bit of a mistake there, bit of a miss micro. Taking out a couple of siege tanks, but just so many Marines and so many Marauders. Honestly, Dele is in an incredible position right now. Checking the income tab, Dele basically has twice as much as Hayat, and that is not a situation that you want to be in as Zerg. Siege Tank up top going to be losing that rather quickly. Bit of a misstep there by Dele. But Marines pushing all the way in. Couple of Speedlings. If those were Banelings, actually Dele would be able to win this if those were Banelings, but they are not. So alas, Dele will be pushing in. GG comes from Hayat, and Dele stays as the king of the hill.
Dela's second win in a row. He will be facing up against Hale if Hale is in our rCraftGaming StarCraft 2 channel, Battle.net 2.0. Oh yeah.
There he is. Aw yeah.
Who plays Protoss? And my son is messaging me. He's saying that my mic doesn't sound very good.
Aw, I think it sounds just fine. Let's see.
Let's ask the people in chat. Can everybody in chat hear me fine? I forget what the Twitch.tv. I'll make sure that I mute.
Alright.
There you go. Oh, look at
my
that,
God.
a commercial. What is this? What is this nonsense?
SOCOM, shut your face, bro. Alright? Blue Flame Hellions are not better than Speedlings if Speedlings are on creep. Unless you've got, like, 10 Blue Flame Hellions, Speedlings will beat the Blue Flame Hellions as long as you micro them correctly. I will slap your face if you disagree with me ever again. Oh, SOCOM. But yeah, we do have Hale here, just waiting for Dele to choose the map. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Ooh, Belshire Beach. What are your thoughts on this, Kennedy?
On
Blue
what?
Flame Hellions versus Speedlings. What do you think?
I've seen just terrible damage done by Blue Flame Hellions. But once you get that Speedling upgrade, as long as you're on creep, usually that'll shut down any kind of Blue Flame Hellion harassment.
Thank you.
But yeah, they get totally rocked. I mean, it depends on positioning too, because like if you get Blue Flame Hellions behind mineral lines, and you got it in a way that you can't get surrounded by the Speedlings, then they fry a ton of Speedlings.
Oh, definitely.
But
like
out in the open on creep, if you're on creep out in the open, they so easily get surrounded, and it's impossible to kite because the Speedlings are so fast on creep. So yeah, so they end up getting the Hellions get surrounded, and they get knocked out. They might still kill some Speedlings, but for the money, they get completely nullified. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm creating a game. Shush! I can't talk.
Oh, Kennedy. You and your sleep deprivation.
Oh
SOCOM.
yeah.
Shut your face, SOCOM. You can drop the Hellions, but a lot of people go for Hellions in through the front door. If you have like a lot of Hellions. Belshire Beach coming. Belshire Beach, bit of a Zerg favored map, but it's going to be Terran versus Protoss, so that's not going to make that much of a difference.
I've seen a lot of GSL matches on Belshire Beach. I think that's like the only place that they really use it.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't seen it in too many other tournaments, except tonight. Here we go.
Oh,
we are parallel with GSL now. All right.
I would say they were basically as good in terms of gameplay, viewership, and of course casting talent.
Obviously. So here we go. This is match 3. We got Della, our returning 2-time defending champion for the night and our current king of the hill. He is going for his third win in a row, and we got Hale as our Protoss newcomer, who is going to try to end Della's reign of terror and get his win streak going on Belshire Beach, which is a pretty cool map. I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice looking map. It is a nice looking map. Alright, we do have Dele in the left side as the blue Terran, and down in the bottom right hand corner we have Hale, the purple Protoss. I like purple Protoss, it's just fun to say.
I gotta go for my Brotoss, homie. Just like the other day, I mean, technically I should have rooted for Puma because Puma was like the newcomer and MC's won 2 GSLs and he won. Yeah. What else did he win? He won a bunch of stuff, right?
He's won so many things.
Yeah, so I should have rooted. I should have rooted for the underdog, right? But at the same time, it was like, oh, it's Terran versus Protoss. I got to root for Protoss.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Even though he's one of the most dominant StarCraft 2 professionals to date.
I used to not really like MC that much just because I thought he was really bad-mannered. And then after seeing, like, the incredible respect that he showed for Sin, because Sin is just a god among Zergs, after seeing the, like, massive